This is why you shouldn't give birth on Saturday in Bulgaria. Welcome back to Every Vampire Ever, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Bulgarian Istrel. Play with some buttons over here for more. In Bulgaria, it's said that when a child born on Saturday passes before it can be baptized, it'll rise from the dead 9 days after its burial as an Istrel, or a lost heart. This creature primarily attacks livestock, being known to take up to 5 in the course of a night, and it's said that only a vampiritsa, a Bulgarian vampire hunter, actually has the ability to take the creature out. Flying vampire infants? Welcome back to Every Vampire Ever, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Polish Owen. Play with some buttons over here for more. In Poland, it's said that any child who is born with a caul and teeth but expires soon after birth will rise up as a vampiric revenant called an Owen. While in its grave, it will chew upon its own body until it is able to escape. Described as looking like a red infant, the Owen will set out initially to attack all of its family members before seeking out other prey. It hunts at night from dark places, utilizing surprise and ambush tactics. Although very strong, an Owen's legs are underdeveloped and therefore it cannot walk or run. However, it can levitate 3 or 4 feet off the ground and can also fly just a little bit faster than a person can run. How convenient. An Owen can only be destroyed by direct exposure to the light for a prolonged period of time, or by removing all of its teeth. Every Vampire Ever Part 2, Blood Dogs. In northern England, blood dogs appear the day after a battle has occurred. They dig into the ground in order to drink up the blood that has pooled there. Described as being massive, gray hounds with red eyes, their panting breath is hot enough to scorch the earth. In some older versions, they're said to look like humans with the face of a dog. Both accounts agree that the blood dogs leave no mark upon the ground regardless of the terrain and in spite of their weight. In Scotland, blood dogs are believed to be the ghosts of Bonnie Prince Charles's hunting hounds and feed exclusively off English blood. Every Vampire Ever Part 1, Druid. A vampiric witch well-versed in the black arts from the folklore of Austria and Bavaria, the Druid has been reported as far back as the 12th century. Almost always a woman, it will shapeshift into a bird at night and seek out a man, as they are powerless against her, to inflict horrible nightmares and terrible visions upon. She can be warded away with a Druidenstein, or a Druid's stone, a stone with a naturally occurring hole in it, or with a Druiden cruz, a Druid's cross, which was essentially a pentagram. What if you slept with a shooting star, and it stole your life? Welcome back to Every Vampire Ever, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Romanian Zuberator. Play with some buttons over here for more. The Romanian Zuberator is described as a young, handsome man with black eyes and hair, wings, and is said to look like a shooting star when it flies across the sky. It's said to visit young women and embrace them in the night, such that it can steal their life energy, leaving them white, sickly, and pale, very ill, until eventually expiring entirely. Although it is said that you can easily repel one by leaving a piece of garlic on your windowsill. Every Vampire Ever Part 4, Pishtaco. Originally an Andean legend, it is now a Peruvian nursery boogeyman that represents the dark side of the cultural Latino male persona. A vampiric demon, the Pishtaco looks like a tall white man wearing a long white coat, which hides the knife he carries. It sleeps too much and drinks great quantities of milk. This imagery has appeared on the ceramic work of the ancient Nazca people. The Pishtaco, overly aggressive and unnaturally over-endowed, captures children and severs the limbs and head so that all that remains are the torsos. Then the Pishtaco removes the body fat, which it then sells to make large bells for the church, run machinery, and contribute to paying off the country's huge international debt. As recently as April 8, 1998, police received an anonymous tip that led them to discover the mangled bodies of 2 men. The bodies were described as having been flayed and all of their body fat removed. The autopsy revealed that the cause of death was due to cardiac arrest that was caused by lack of blood. The skins of the men were never found. Every Vampire Ever Part 6, Hema. A vampiric bird with beautiful green or purple feathers from the mythology of Arabia, the Hema is created from the blood of a murder victim. The Hema has a monstrous call, Iskuni, which translates to mean, give me blood. It will also cry out if it sees a murder about to happen. The vampire will tirelessly seek out its own murderer, never stopping until it has drunk its fill of their blood. Once the Hema has tracked down its killer, it will fly off to the land of spirits and gladly announce that its murder has been avenged. What if you used the story of a vampire to keep your kids from getting frisky? Welcome back to Every Vampire Ever, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Hungarian Nora. Play with some buttons over here for more. In Hungarian folklore, it's said that there is a vampiric creature that hunts and attacks amoral and disrespectful women, looking to consume their vital essences, their blood, and even breast milk. It's said that smearing garlic over your breasts may help prevent an attack from a Nora, usually humanoid, bald, and perhaps even invisible, running around on all fours, again trying to track down amoral and even women of the night. It's thought that the creation of the Nora was one way to describe sexually transmitted diseases, especially considering that it was more targeted at, well, women of the night. Every Vampire Ever Part 5, Jumbies. In the Caribbean islands, the word Jumbies refers collectively to any and all vampiric creatures of the night. They're described as looking like a corpse candle, flying through the night sky as they seek out those who travel alone in the dark or children to drain dry of their blood. Apart from their desire to drink blood, Jumbies also ride a person, much the way an Alp or succubus does, draining the victim of their life and sexual energy. Jumbies can be good or evil and have been seen in populated downtown areas where the streetlights happen not to reach. Oftentimes, one will hover just outside a window, peeking in as it hunts for prey. Because of this hunting technique, one should never throw water out of a window because a wet Jumbie is a special kind of dangerous and vengeful creature. Jumbies move by their ability to fly, but they can do so only over continuous ground. It cannot fly across water, off a cliff, or over a hole. What they can do that other vampires of their type cannot, such as the corpse candle, is steal the voice of a child in order to have a voice so that it may speak. The Jumbie by day wears a faux human skin and can pass as a person, but at night the skin is removed and the corpse candle is free to go hunting. If the skin can be found and rubbed with salt, it'll cause it to shrivel up. When the Jumbie returns just before daybreak, it'll find that its skin does not fit, and the creature will perish when exposed to the light of day. Every Vampire Ever Part 7, Tanggal. All throughout Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Melanesia, and the Trobriand Islands is a vampiric sorcerer known as a Tanggal, or comes apart. By day, it looks like an ordinary woman, but at night it detaches its head from its body and flies off by undulating its intestines and flapping its ears and lungs. It attacks people for their blood and feces, which it feeds on. The Tanggal is easily repelled by garlic, salt, and spices. Every Vampire Ever Part 3, White Ladies of Fao. The White Ladies of Fao, or the Dames Blanches as they are known in their native France, originate from the Uria Lake region. Preying on young men, they lure them off with their extreme physical beauty and magical charms to a secluded area where they turn and attack, draining their victims of their blood. Of all the White Ladies that have been, the one named Melusian stands out amongst them. She's had numerous pieces of literature, poems, and songs written about her. A toothless vampire that swallows you whole and throws you up shorter? Welcome back to Every Vampire Ever, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Australian Yaramayahu. Buckle up, my friends, because it's about to get weird. Play with some buttons over here for more. Australia's premier vampiric creature, the Yaramayahu, looks like a short, red-skinned man with an exceptionally large head and mouth, and suckers on its fingers and toes. What's most unusual about this vampire is that it has no teeth whatsoever. It dislikes sunlight and prefers to spend its daylight hours in caves near a water source. An ambush predator, the Yaramayahu hides in the branches of fig trees and attacks anyone who walks underneath it. It grabs them up and, using the suckers on its fingers and toes, drains the vital essence from its victims. When it's finished, it swallows the body whole. A short while later, it will vomit the person back up, whole and alive. A person who is repeatedly attacked by a Yaramayahu will gradually become shorter and shorter until they're the same size as the creature. They'll then start to grow hair all over their body and become a Yaramayahu themselves. The spirit of a fig tree can end a Yaramayahu by climbing into its ear and making a noise that causes the vampire's soul itself run from its body. I told you it was gonna get weird. What if wounded warriors made the best meal? Welcome back to Every Vampire Ever, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Sri Lankan Pei. Play with some buttons over here for more. In the folklore of Sri Lanka and Tamil India, there are tales of a vampiric creature called the Pei that scours the battlefields for wounded warriors, draining them of their vital essence, and then taking their bodies back to its lair to cook and consume. An island filled with vampire sorcerers? Welcome back to Every Vampire Ever, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Australian Turunga. Play with some buttons over here for more. On the Bank Islands off the coast of Australia lives a large number of people who consider themselves a type of sorcerer called a Turunga. These individuals claim to have accumulated so much power that they're able to detach their heads and turn into invisible vampires. In this form, the Turunga are able to drain away the life energy of the recently deceased, a process that takes a few weeks to complete. During this time, people in the community will suffer from exceptionally vivid dreams. To prevent a deceased Turunga from feeding, a watch must be maintained at its gravesite, as the vampire will not feed if a person is too near. Would you adopt an evil spirit to put its soul to rest? Welcome back to Every Vampire Ever, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Papuan Forso. Play with some buttons over here for more. In New Guinea, in the islands off the coast of northern Australia, there's a vampiric ghost known as a Forso. An energy vampire, the Forso feeds off the emotions, life energy, and carnal energies of its victims, in addition to cursing them with bad luck and depression. Intangible and invisible, the Forso seldom travels far from its gravesite, but will take advantage of any opportunity to attack anyone who comes close to its grave. Charms and prayers can be used to ward off its attack, but only if in life the Forso was an immoral yet religious individual. Papuans consider the Forso a being to be pitied, a lonely soul looking for attention. Therefore, when a Forso is discovered, its burial mound is located, and its bones exhumed and taken into a family's home. By adopting the Forso and making it feel welcome, it no longer feels the need to feed off of or curse anyone anymore.